Well, hey guys, guess what? It's the day after Thanksgiving, which means that the store that has the brick and mortar MVP Gyropalooza boxes was open at 10 o'clock. It is now 10:16, which means I was there waiting, grabbed one of these and ran out. I'm gonna open it up and we're gonna see what's in it right after the intro. So reading the sticker on it, it says we have one particle proton pyro, we have one neutron wave, 10th anniversary, one particle proton particle, one plasma echo, one Pearly proton Eagle Team Series boost, 2 assorted R2 neutron discs, and 10 assorted L2 discs. So yeah, let's dive in, see how it goes. Pull out my trusty knife. I'll just slice up your disc, Pete. Well, I got a little excited with the knife. By the way, I'm both excited because new disc, but it's also cold. I'm freezing. So here we go. All right. Woohoo! There we are right there. All right, I'm just gonna start grabbing them out. Let's see how we got, what we got. We've got a 175 photon. We've got the particle glow insanity, I'm assuming. Ooh, that's nice. What's this? What's it? 175. Ooh, I'm gonna like that. Problem is, that clear will hide in a lot of the woods around Inverness. 173 volt. And we've got a lightweight 158 virus in the electron. We've got the pyro with the sparkle rim. Boy, I wish that was a different color. Still not bad, not bad. 177. Another 177 in the hex. Boy, they're killing me with the reds though. They're killing me with the reds. All right, that's, well, gee, I wonder what this disc is with the little dimple turbulence. 174, just a streamlined blue turbulence. Now we've got the green wave 159. Yep, that's a tough color. All right, we've got the dark fireball here. 169, R2, dark and red, so I got double whammy on that one. There are a couple of these I'm gonna have to try to trade around so I can see the discs instead of those guys. All right, we got the photon in the 165 with the black and white R2. Then we've got, ooh, the crave in a pearlescent. Nice, what is it, 168. All right, we've got a Maple Hill relay in the 168 with electron. Interesting. All right, now here we go. We got the Eagle McMahon in the boost, 174. Now we have the 2025 Gyropalooza, and is this the, yep, it's the particle. The particle glow particle. Haven't thrown that one before. And this is the Echo. Nice. Feels a little slick, I'm not gonna lie. Yep, and the pyro in the particle glow pyro. That one, I was really kind of excited for that one. And then we've got the 10th anniversary wave. And that is in 174. Oh, I forgot to check. Yeah, 176 in the pyro and 174 in the Eagle McMahon boost. Boy, I was really hoping that I was gonna get a glow proxy in that. Is that only in the smaller box? I don't know. I was hoping for that, but still got some good discs. All right, so now I'm gonna warm up, stretch a little bit, and then we'll throw them, see how they fly. All right, so I'm just gonna give these each a little throw, see how they do. Nothing major, but we'll see how they fly. Let's go ahead and start. I'll start with the lightweight stuff, and we'll work our way through. Now, it's first thing in the morning. I've stretched as best I can to get going, but let's face it, this old body, first thing in the morning when it's cold, is only gonna throw these. I'm gonna try to throw these about 75%. I'm not gonna try to kill these, but I'm gonna try to throw them nice and flat so you can see kind of how they're gonna go. I think I'm gonna be throwing about 50 miles an hour. That's kind of I think that's gonna be a good base to throw today. We'll see. My back may say otherwise, but let's see what we can do. So I'm starting with the 158 virus. There's even a little bit of a tailwind, right to left, cross shoulder tailwind, but that one just wanted to roll right over. Let's face it, it's a 158 virus. All right, now let's do the 159 wave in the funky green color. I don't feel like I'm yanking over that much, but I guess I am a little bit, but yeah. Welcome to the lightweight stuff. So far, 2 for 2 into rollers. All right, now I'm not gonna do that with the Fireball. 169 Fireball, this should be interesting. Yep, I put that on a little anhyzer, went out, just faded off back to the end. And the 165 Photon. I threw that nice and flat, popped up, rode, and then finishing to the end. All right, so now the 168 Crave. This one I'm interested in. I'm gonna try to throw this with a little bit of hyzer because I have a feeling it's gonna wanna pop up. Not too much pop up, actually. Okay. Huh. I guessed incorrectly. Hopefully you can see that. All right, now we'll go where everything else is pretty much max weight, about 175 to 170. This one's 177, so I'm not going to call out the weights on these. But so now we're going to go with the hex. Huh. Well, I got a little nose up on that one. It was a less than committed shot there. All right, I believe this is a volt. Yep. Here we go. Fairly flat, but you could just tell how overstable that was. That thing went out and just immediately started driving over. All right, I think I like this one a lot. The Insanity. Yep, got a little flip over. I think I turned it just a touch on anhyzer, went out, and then faded back. Yeah, I like that a lot. Another Photon. Let's see if it's as stable as the last one. Put that a little more on anhyzer and not fighting out nearly as much. Gonna have to give those both a back-to-back throw, see how they do. All right, let's do the Pyro. Nice and flat. That one's pushing pretty good. Not super overstable, just decent overstable. Now the relay. I think the wind has now shifted. There's a bit of a headwind. Put that up, popped it up, let it ride, and then fade back. Yep. All right, the turbulence. I tried to get it over on anhyzer, but I didn't get it a lot on anhyzer, and it still fought off pretty good. All right, so now the particle. Curious about this one. I haven't thrown a particle before. I'm just going to try to throw this nice and flat, a little bit high, let it ride. Huh. Released with a little bit of angle. I didn't get as flat as I wanted, and it just never got off of that. It started fading. It's got a little stability to it, overstability. Now we've got the Echo. Hopefully you can see I released with a little bit of anhyzer and just pushed out and just straightened up at the end. So it's got just a touch, it's probably a 1 fade at the end. All right, and now we've got the Particle Glow Pyro. See, I put that one's got more stability than the other Pyro, I really believe. I'll have to throw those back to back next throw. All right, now we've got the Boost. Huh. Yeah, it's definitely got that stability, but it pushed a little more than I was expecting. I got the first prototype boost, and it was actually a little bit more stable than that. And finally, we're going to finish with the wave. See what yeah. No. Huh. For some reason, I'm pulling over today. All right, well, that was a good first throws. Let's go get them and try them again. Okay, so I just threw a second round of these to show you, once again how they flew, and I forgot to hit record. So now my back is definitely warmed up. We're gonna do it one more time just to give you a little bit more of an idea of what each one of these does, and myself included. And this time I'm gonna start with the mid-ranges and the particle. And so I'm gonna throw this one a little flatter, get a little more height so I can ride out a little bit more. Yep, I just want to see how it hold that line. It holds, and then it just drops with a little fade at the end. Okay, now the hex. Pretty flat, a little bit, just a touch on hyzer, so it just pushed out and faded to the left. It's a hex. I mean, it's a brand new hex. It's gonna start out with a little bit more stability, and as you hit it a few times, just hopefully become one of those nice, straight, reliable discs that you can throw over and over again. Now let's try the Echo, Streamline Echo. So it should be a little bit more stable than the hex. Nice and flat, just pushes, keeps pushing, and then fades to the left. That was a nice flight, yeah? Any of y'all throw the Echo? All right, so now I've got the two pyros, and I want to see if one of them's more overstable than the next. I think this one's a touch more overstable than this guy. So let's find out. So I don't know if it's the grass is wet, I'm not committing through, and I'm still releasing with a little bit of hyzer on it. So that wasn't a full flat shot, but it just pushed out and faded to the left. All right. Almost identical throw, and yeah, that guy's more stable, overstable. It wants to dump quicker. So while we're at the overstable, let's try some of the overstable stuff. Let's go with the turbulence. Put that out pretty flat, and then it's just gonna hook on to the left, cut on around. No surprises so far. Fireball. Nice and flat, and there it goes, hooking up, fading to the left with a little bit more hop. Let's see how the Volt does. Nice and flat, but boy, it just wants to dive over too, man. That Volt feels almost as stable as a Fireball. Overstable. I mix those up. When I say stable, most of the time I'm thinking about it dropping to the left. Instead of neutral, I say stable when I'm really thinking overstable. All right, on the flip side, let's try some lightweight stuff. Yeah, so we're gonna compare the 159 wave to the 174 wave. All right. I threw that maybe with a touch of hyzer, and it immediately started cranking over. Let's try to throw the exact same shot. Yep, whereas the first one kept rolling over, that one did a little of this, pushed out, and then faded back to the left. Yeah, weight does matter. All right, we got two photons, a 165 and a 175. I threw that with a touch of hyzer, and because at 165 it popped up, rode before it settled back to the left. I don't think I could get away with that here. I gotta throw this a little flatter. Oh, I turned that over a little bit. Interesting. That one actually felt less overstable, more flippy than the 165. Now, some of it was I put it on here, but it just, the times I've thrown it, it's wanted to roll a little bit more than I expected. Sometimes plastic just does that. All right, 158 Virus. I'm gonna put this on pretty good hyzer and see how much it'll roll. Well, if you need a roller disc, I think I put that on a pretty good angle like this, and it still just rolled all the way over it and turned into a roller. All right, Crave. I'm gonna try to throw this as flat as I can. Once again, I was a little bit off here. I wasn't quite here, and it popped up and rode and then faded off. I wish I'd thrown that a little flatter. Now the insanity. That was a good pull, just flips and pushes a little right, and then gonna fade back to the left. Such a workable, reliable disc. I like the Insanity a lot. Do y'all throw it? And now the Relay in 168. I'm gonna put this on hyzer and see how it does. Yeah, it was a good ride. It had a little more stability, but not much. I put it here and it immediately wanted to crawl on over. But it got to here and then held out to make it back here. It didn't quite dump over to a roller. And then finally we'll finish with the Boost, Old Eagle. I kind of dragged across that one, got a little nose up, but yeah, it flew how I expected it. All right, so my wrap up, my final thoughts about this are, listen, I saved up a little money. This was, I knew this was coming, and so it was $169 with taxes, about $175. So you got 17 discs, so that's basically $10 a disc. And out of this, there are a couple of them that I'm like, I'm just okay with, mostly the lightweight stuff. But then I can give those away to new players and people who might like the disc. Do a little horse trading with somebody else that might like it. But I'm excited about Crave, Insanity, Hex. Listen, the Waves. There's so many things. I got a new particle, the Boost, the Turbulence. There's some great discs in here. The main ones that I know for sure I'll be holding on to will be the Crave, the Insanity, and the Hex, unless I trade the Hex for a different color. And then a couple of these others, just keepers, put on the shelf or whatever. But I think it's definitely, it's a fun little thing that was worth it. You know, last night I was going, oh, good, you know, the dopamine rush. I get to go pick up a new box, and it was like Christmas, opening up a present and see what I got in there. I wish it had the Particle Go Proxy. I'm wondering if that might be in the other box or I just misheard, but that was one of the ones I was hoping I'd get along with the golden ticket. I mean, let's face it. But overall, I just think this is some of the best stuff. It's just, of all the mystery boxes I've gotten, these have always been the most bang for your buck. Always value in the box. And so I'm not disappointed at all. I've got some keeper discs in here that I'm excited about, and I've got some other discs I can trade around with. As a matter of fact, I'm leaving here, go see my buddy Mike, and we might do a little trading around. But anyway, hopefully that gave you just a little more insight to the brick and mortar. I'm sure there are going to be 18 million of these videos out here, so I'm going to try to keep it brief, but I appreciate you coming around, watching this, checking it out. Hopefully you got the disc that you wanted in your box if you got one, and I hope to see you out on the course.